Hi, I'm Tanas. It's Miss Emily, and I wanted to read to you two stories by the same author, Storm Boy and Frog Girl, and they're written and illustrated by Paul Owen Lewis. So I'll read Storm Boy first. And I've showed most of you this story with the art in it. And it goes like this. A chief's son went fishing alone, and a terrible storm arose. He soon found himself washed ashore under a strange sky he had never seen before. There was a village there. The houses, the canoes, and even the people were very large. I am a chief's son, and I am lost. A storm has brought me to you, said the boy. We know this. You are welcome, son of a chief from above, said one who appeared like a chief himself. And together they entered the large house of all, the largest house of all. Inside the house was crowded with finely dressed people enjoying a feast. They gave him a blanket to wear and a fish to eat, but the fish was not cut up or cooked. Strange, too, on the walls all around were what looked like killer whales. After they finished eating, the chief said to the others, "Let us sing a welcome song and invite our guest to join in the dance of our people. You are welcome, son of a chief from above," they sang. The boy and his hosts began to dance around the fire together to the steady beat of the drums. He matched them step for step, and the chief smiled when he saw that the boy had so quickly learned their dance. In return, the boy offered to teach the songs and dances to his own people. The chief was delighted and now followed the boy's lead. The celebration went on in this way for many long hours, and the boy and his new friends each learning from each other. But though the boy was enjoying himself, he began to think more and more of home with each song he sang. He missed his father and mother and wondered if he would ever find his way back to them again. Suddenly, the drumming and dancing stopped. The chief turned to him and said, "We are glad that the storm has brought you to our village, but now you are thinking of your own." "When you wish to return," he continued, "grip my staff tightly and stand behind me. Close your eyes and think of your own home, wishing to be there only." The boy did as he was told. He took the staff and stepped behind the chief. Closing his eyes, he pictured his father and mother, his house, and the people of his village. As he did, the boy felt a great surge beneath him, as if he were being carried upward. At greater and greater speed, he kept his eyes closed, and he held on tight. The motion stopped, and the boy opened his eyes. There he was, laying on the beach in front of his very own village. "My son," cried his mother, "where have you been? We thought you were lost in a storm a year ago." "I was lost in a storm, but it was only yesterday," exclaimed the boy. But a year's time had indeed passed since he had disappeared in the storm. That night the whole village celebrated his return and marveled at the boy as he danced with the staff and told of the large and mysterious people under the strange sky. Right, the end of that one. here's, so be looking at the illustrations and listening for the similarities and differences in the two stories. All right, Frog Girl. It's the title page. All right. Behind a certain village lay a lake full of frogs. The chief's youngest daughter often went there alone to listen to their songs, but today as she approached, she heard no singing. She heard human voices instead. "Quick, let's go. We have them all," said one. "Now we are great hunters too," boasted the other. When the two boys had left, she walked toward the lake, listening. At first all seemed quiet and still. Then, close by, a small voice said, "Sister, I am calling you." "Who said that?" asked the girl, for she could not see no one. "Here I am." The chief's daughter looked down to find a small frog in the tall grass. "Oh my! How is it you use human speech?" asked the girl. "I will show you. Follow me to the shore of the lake," said the frog. The girl did so, and suddenly it appeared as if a low door had opened before her, but actually the edge of the lake had lifted up. She walked under. At once she found herself in a large deserted village. A young woman was standing at her side. "You see, we live as you do," she said. "But where are the people of your village?" asked the girl. "That is what my grandmother wishes to ask you. That is her house behind. Come, this blanket is for you. We shall see her now." The house was bigger and more beautiful than any she had ever seen. Inside, the floor rumbled, and it was very hot. At the back sat a small and very old woman. She spoke, saying, "Granddaughter, I am alone. My children have been taken, and I no longer have their songs to comfort me." "Do you know where my children are?" asked the old woman. "No, grandmother, but I have seen two boys with nets and baskets at the lake," answered the chief's daughter. At this, the old woman began to cry. "Oh, my children, where have they taken my children?" The fire grew hotter and the house began to shake. "Quick, sister," exclaimed to the young woman. "You must return to your own village. I fear something terrible is about to happen there." "But how?" asked the girl. "Close your eyes and think of the lake only. Do not think of this place." The girl did so, and at the lake. There she was on the shore of the lake again, but it was no longer still and quiet as before. Black smoke filled the air and thunder roared in the distance. Alarmed, the chief's daughter ran through the forest back to her own village. But there was no one there. The volcano was erupting, and the forest was on fire. Her village would soon be destroyed. The girl called into each house for anyone who might have stayed behind. No one answered until she got to the last house at the end of the row. But the voices weren't human. They were the voices of frogs instead, coming from a box in the corner. "Oh, my relatives, come. I'll take you home to your grandmother," cried the chief's daughter. Forest. Eagerly, the frog slipped beneath the surface of the lake. "Farewell, my sisters and brothers. I must look for my own family now," said the chief's daughter. "Remember me to your grandmother." The girl returned to her village as a heavy rain began to fall. Many canoes were landing on the beach. Her people were returning now that the rain had put out the fires. "Father, mother, I am here," she shouted as she ran to meet them. "Daughter, where have you been?" "What has happened here?" asked the chief. The girl told her story of the frog village, the old woman whose house shook with fire and smoke, and the capture of her children. "You see," she finished, "there are sisters and brothers. We should treat them so." But it was becoming difficult to hear her. The frogs were singing again. All right, the end. All right, Athki, thank you so much for listening.